A few months ago, I met this guy that lives in South Florida who was starting his own EV charging business. And the first time we spoke, we just got along right away. I swear I learned just as much from him as he did from me on our first consulting call. I love this guy. I think the way that he looks at the industry is really unique. He's super smart and he has lots of creative ideas about how to grow in this industry. So today we wanted to do something a little unique and share one of the conversations we had with you guys. His name's Marlon and his company is called Raw Power EV Charging. He also took my course and said it was such a big help to get his business off the ground. And now he's got a handful of chargers that are installed and making money. This is the first part of our conversation. And in today's video, we talked about Tesla's charging network, new creative EV charging technologies, and how to scale in this industry. I've added his information below if you wanted to reach out and connect with him. And also if you're looking to take the same course that he did, I've added that for you below as well. All right, let's go. All right. My dad just bought the Model Y.
Nice. He got the new one?
Yeah, he bought it took me so long to convince him to go electric, but yeah, he just ordered the 2026 Model Y. He's pretty stoked.
Nice. Yeah, those are pretty. I was actually at the dealership. My handle, my driver's door handle on the S's is pretty common for them to go bad. So it was just my turn, right? I was at a dealership and a friend of the family just so happened to be in there. And I was like, hey, what's going on? And he was super excited. He had just bought the 26 Model 3. And I was like, those are sweet. Those are sweet. There's so much customization you can do with the 3s and the Ys now. A little jealous, because I'm limited as to what I could do.
Yeah.
I wrapped it and you put a subwoofer in there. So the sound is there and it looks great, but it is still pretty limiting. And that's by design, it's pretty limiting as to what you could do, but the 3s and the Ys, you can have a lot of fun with those.
Man, the self-driving, the best.
I tell people all the time, if self-driving is your thing, right? Not so much the acceleration or even just anything outside of FSD. You get a lot of options in the marketplace for like Kia's doing a bunch of really, really cool stuff. Yeah. Chevy's doing a bunch of really, really cool stuff. Domestically, outside of the US, it's a crazy game.
But China's crazy.
China's, but you get a lot of other options, but nobody really does FSD like Tesla. So when I dropped my car off, they gave me a loaner for a couple of hours. So I had the new Model 3 and I had to run down to Fort Lauderdale and come back. So that's like 45, 50 minutes, right? And I mean, from door to door, FSD. And I was like, this is pretty sweet. And like, I have FSD in mind. But because it's an older one, it's not as smooth.
Yeah.
It's not as smooth, but you get the same kind of, depending on your settings, the aggressiveness, and you know what it's going to do. It's just a little bit more jittery on mine because mine is a 2018 over the newer Atom chip, and the inner workings are different. The software can basically be the same, but the inner workings and the hardware it's obviously more advanced. So you definitely see it. I mean, it's a crazy, crazy world out there.
It's crazy. He's like, I went to go for a test drive and he's like the salesperson. She brought me out. She's like, do you want to take it for a test drive? And he's like, yeah, for sure. And she said, okay, let's go outside. And she pressed summon and it pulled up like right in front to pick them up. And he's like, right then, he's like, I knew I was going to buy the car. He's like, if the thing came and he's like, let's go. I'm sold. Yeah. He was asking about like all the charging, right? Because he asked me a lot about the EVs and everything. And like, I know a decent amount about EVs, but my knowledge is really about the charging. And when it came to the charging, I was like, Tesla just has the most extensive charging network. Like you're rarely going to be in a place that you can't find a supercharger. Do they have lots of superchargers there in West Palm Beach?
Yeah. Crazy. And I mean, throughout the state of Florida, we have a pretty intensive network, obviously primarily being Tesla. Along the Florida Turnpike, there's a pretty solid amount of the Mercedes-Benz charging stations as well.
Oh, really?
Which is pretty interesting. Yeah, yeah.
We don't have a lot of those here in Canada. What
Really.
are they logoed like Mercedes Benz?
Yeah, 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 yeah. They're
I've
just like
never
this
seen one
Tesla
of those.
logo. They're Mercedes Benz, and we have this like massive gas station here called Bucky's,
Yeah, I've heard of Bucky's.
and they're like, so I've been to one Bucky in like north of Daytona, and when I tell you they'll have like literally 20 Mercedes Benz supercharging stalls, and then
Well,
Tesla supercharging stalls. I mean, because it's a massive gas station, right? Like they'll have 100 gas pumps easily.
oh,
I mean but Tesla, yeah, it's crazy. Tesla certainly dominates, but the cool part about it is like when you're kind of in the space that we're in, you just see things that's slightly different because your eyes are kind of tuned in to charging stations. So I'm in Orlando a couple of weeks ago. I see his charging station. I was like, it's purple. I was like, what is
oh,
this? I've never seen this before.
Atom. Are they Atom?
It's Atom.
AT
Because I think that
ATOM.
based out of ATOM.
I
Have you
just
done
learned
any
about those.
research on it?
I
Just
just
a
looked
little.
those up like 2 days ago because I spoke to another lady in Tampa and she mentioned them.
Okay. Okay. Perfect. Yeah. So I'll email you the specs because they sent me over the specs. They have a very unique system.
Yeah.
So to in a very basic way, you know how like everything is kind of self-contained in the pedestal,
Yeah.
and then you're just running your cable to your power source, right? So how they in their patented system, the bulk of the inner workings is close to the power system. It's almost reversed. So the bulk of the inner workings is by the power system. So all you're doing is running cables to the pedestal. So their niche is that they're saving you 50%, 50 to 60% of your install costs because of the setup. And I was like, damn, that is very, very funny. I'm sure there's ways to get around their package, but that's neither here nor there.
Yeah.
But that's just very smart. I was in a parking garage for, I think it was a Hyatt in like on International Drive in Orlando. I noticed and I was like, damn, they got a lot of. Well, you can set up a lot when you have that when that's
E-
the way that you're running your wire. Like
Exactly.
that's the play.
Man,
That's the
I
play. And another
go ahead. Go ahead. Keep going.
another thing that I'm noticing is that certain locations are setting up a almost like a hybrid model. So you'll have X amount of superchargers and then X amount of level two. Because if you're in a one place that is a destination charger as well as, supercharger, you have kind of mixed use, right? So if you have people that are going to that restaurant right there, if you have folks that are traveling from point A to point B, it's a smart idea to have a mixture of level two and level three
Totally.
in one location
Totally.
because you're able to service a lot of different needs all at the same time, and it prevents congestion as well. So
Totally.
everybody's not just, lining supercharger. Because guess what? If you're going to sit down to eat, you don't necessarily need supercharging speeds, So it's
Exactly. Like different
it's just
applications. It's so funny you mentioned those Atom chargers because I was in Whistler, which is like an hour away from Vancouver here, and I was walking through the village and I saw these what looked like normal level 2 pedestal chargers. And I walked by and I was like, "Oh, these are 50 kilowatt?" I was like, "How are these 50
right,
kilowatt level 2
right.
chargers?" And then I looked beside it and there
And they're
was
still
this
small.
massive box. And I was like, "Oh, these are satellite chargers." Like I always read about satellite chargers. It's the same concept with the Atom chargers. They're just like satellite chargers. The power is so when you see a normal DC fast charger, usually it's that massive big box, right? Because all the power is built into it. But with these satellite chargers, they take the power, like you said, they put it in the power cabinet that's close by. It's kind of like, I don't know, I used to design restaurants and we used to do walk-in freezers with remote compressors. Like the compressor wasn't built into the
Mm,
system, it was like somewhere else. And it's the same concept. And the best thing with these satellite chargers is once you have that main, call it like the head of the body
mm.
for all the power, it's super easy to add more arms. Like you can add in a bunch
Just
more
tap in.
chargers. You just tap right exactly. I think this setup and the
Yeah.
initial setup is more expensive, but scalability wise, it's way cheaper. Also, I'd love if you were to subscribe to the channel, like the video, and also please comment below if you have any questions and want me to cover any topics that I haven't addressed yet. I'll make sure to add those to the upcoming video schedule.